Have you ever been playing Battlefield and thought to yourself, wow, this game sure does need a Battle Royale? Well, it doesn't. End of story. Good night. Alright, I'll do the fucking video. So Battlefield 6 has been out for a little more than a month now, and I gotta say, I'm having a great time playing the multiplayer. I haven't played a good Battlefield game since Battlefield 3 and 4. I was barely around for Battlefield 1's life cycle, so it's been a really long time since I've played a good one of these games. And I gotta say, Battlefield 6 has been the answer to all of those needs. They basically made a best of both worlds game for pretty much every good thing that Battlefield has put out in the past, like 10 years or so. But there is one aspect of Battlefield's gameplay that they've never quite been able to get right, and that's Battle Royales. As you'll recall, in Battlefield 5, they had Firestorm, which, I mean, let's face it, nobody fucking liked it. And then in Battlefield 2042, they had Hazard Zone, which I know was more of like an extraction type of mode, but nobody wanted to play that either. So needless to say, it was a risk to try to get Battlefield to get another Battle Royale. But the good people over at Battlefield Studios said, no, we're gonna do it right this time, and they gave us Redsec. Now, I was almost a little off put when I saw that Redsec was not gonna have any kind of solos mode, so I enlisted the help of fellow YouTuber Hyperborean. I'll go ahead and leave a link to his channel down below, and today, with his help, I tried Battlefield Redsec, so you don't have to. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the video, I have one thing that I need to confess to all of you here today. I really liked Warzone 2. Now, to most people that are going to see this video, you're going to think that's straight sacrilege. To that I have to say, good for you. I was really used to Warzone 1, Apex, and Fortnite, and I really liked the changes that Warzone 2 brought to the table in terms of pacing, in terms of tone, in terms of making it really difficult for you to just go get your loadout gun at the very start of the game and just trample people with whatever the meta build was right from the get-go. And I had a lot of fun with that until everybody bitched at Infinity Ward so much that they basically turned it back into Warzone 1. So to everybody who did that, big f you from me. Listen, I'll fully admit that Warzone 2 had its flaws. It absolutely did. But in a certain sense, it kind of feels like Warzone 2 crawled so that Redsec could fly. But what is Redsec? Well, Redsec is the Battle Royale part of the Battlefield 6 package. You know how Battle Royale works. You got 100 players, you drop into a giant circle, you loot up, the circle shrinks, the last team alive wins, yada yada yada. You know the fucking gist of it. Battle Royales have been out for a decade now. You don't need me to explain them to you. But what Redsec does is it fully takes the Battlefield formula, the class system, the gunplay, the uniqueness of the different play styles, and it blends them all together into a package that really just works. So when you start off a game of Redsec, you go ahead and you pick your class. You've got the Assault class, or the Combat Carpenter, as I like to call them, who can capture, redeploy towers and mission objectives faster, and they come with their signature ladder, a favorite tool of Hyper's.
One of us picked Assault, we would have the ladder.
Yeah, but the ladder sucks. Like, I've never seen the ladder. I've never seen one person use the ladder good, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got if you use it, you got to use it the right way, obviously. But one day, people are gonna start complaining about how busted the ladder is.
Then you've got the Engineer class coming in hot with their hot blowtorch that they can use to repair vehicles and even break into special safes containing loot for the whole team. I love stealing, I love taking things. They also spawn with a launcher too, so if you're running anybody early game with a helicopter, just go ahead and remind them about the rules of the road with these bad boy.
I see him, yeah, by the house with the White House red roof.
Brother, what was your goal there? What were you trying to do? I don't know, but he died in.
Oh no, come on.
The pain in my fucking heart. You also got the Support class, which can carry more plates, more ammo. They come with their supply bags, which is an even bigger bonus in a Battle Royale game than it is in the multiplayer. And they have the signature better revives that they have where you can get people up quicker, bring them back with health regeneration, and overall just be a great asset to the team's survivability. And then you have the Recon class, which... hey, look at that, they're here too. When you drop into the game, you get to choose your custom pistol loadout to start with, which is really nice. Not everybody in the game is forced to use the same pistol, and as you level up in the game and you unlock more stuff for your pistols, you get to go ahead and trick it out a bit to give yourself a bit of an early ground advantage. All the pistols are pretty solid options in this game, so it's not like there's going to be one standout pick that everyone's just going to go for to instantly melt everyone over the others. but it's really nice to have just a nice piece of customized gear to bring with you to start the match off with. While you're looting up, you can come across these class-specific loadout crates that when you open them up will give you some class-specific loot, like your class's signature weapon, the assault rifles for the assaults, SMGs for engineer, LMGs for support, etc, etc. And it's a really good way to ensure that your class doesn't just feel like an arbitrary choice. You're getting specialized gear that's going to help both you and your team out. While you're in the game, you're going to get missions transmitted to your squad that you can choose to partake in for extra XP, extra gear, extra class XP to level up your class throughout the game, as well as for the potential to get some loot drops, including vehicle drops. Because yes, vehicles are in this battle royale, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, some of these missions are pretty light and easy, where they're going to have you just reassign some satellite dishes and keep you away from other players. Some of these missions do come with a PvP risk, which means that you're going to be doing something close by to where other players are at. And some of these missions will straight up just put bounties on other players' heads. So if you want to be an aggressive douchebag, these are your missions, buddy. As I just mentioned, there are also vehicles in this battle royale, which to some people sounds like a terrible fucking idea, but it actually works out really well.
Want to take the helicopter then?
Yeah, if you're good at flying, I can't fly this thing for shit.
I am.
All right.
I'm decent enough to get the hell out of here.
All right, I'm in, let's go. Because every team has the choice to bring engineers with them, you always have someone on your team that has the ability to bust vehicles as well as keep your vehicles maintained. Just don't be like Swag G and try to shoot a tank with a sniper rifle. What was he thinking? Oh, and speaking of Call of Duty streamers, if you just cannot live without your super special customized Arctic camo, meta loadout, Super Soaker Sprayer 9000, you're in luck, because throughout the game, if you do enough of these missions and earn enough XP, you can get a custom gun drop that will deliver a care package to your team that will allow you to have one customized weapon on your kit. It's not going to give you a full loadout or anything, but it will allow you to have that one custom gun that you can bring with you just for comfortability's sake. So for all those people that just can't handle a battle royale without your special little baby, don't you worry, you can still get them here. If you end up dying throughout this battle royale, you're guaranteed one free redeploy, whether that be as a solo or as a team. If everybody on your team dies, you'll come back simultaneously, and if one person at a time dies, they will go ahead and respawn back close to where the other teammates are so that you can go and squat back up together. And if you just can't help it but suck on some bullets to the face more than 1 or 2 times, you can go ahead and have your teammates capture a redeploy tower, which will very loudly transmit to everybody, "Hey, someone's trying to get their teammates back." But if you can hold that tower for a certain amount of time, you can go ahead and bring everyone in your team back simultaneously for free. Just be sure when you're capturing these towers to take a watch out for the circle, because the zone in this battle royale is lethal. The Firestorm has returned from Battlefield 5's BR, and it is deadly this time around. It's a very slow moving circle that does not give you a single chance to step outside of it. If you so much as touch this zone, you're dead. So that eliminates a lot of the possibilities of people running into the zone and looting up and ratting up out in there, just gathering up gas masks or fucking hazmat suits or goddamn med kits or whatever other variation of that shit from every other battle royale there is. You are either in the zone and alive, or you're out of the zone and dead, and I honestly think that that's a great change to implement into a BR. And if you're just like me and you love going to take people's dog tags in Battlefield multiplayer, you're in luck, because if you end up giving someone a free nipple inspection in Battlefield Redsec, that will reveal their whole squad to you and your teammates for you to go and hunt down. So with all these things put together, including the Battlefield gunplay, you have a pretty fun battle royale on our hands here. Me and Hyper played this for about 2 hours and had a great fucking time. Even though we didn't end up winning a single round, we had a blast, and there was never a moment of just, do we want to keep playing this? Like you tend to find in a lot of other battle royales, because they get really tedious and tiring after you lose a couple straight rounds in a row. But if a straight up battle royale isn't your cup of tea, they also have the gauntlet mode. Get ready to play the Temu finals here, ladies and gentlemen. So in the gauntlet mode, you have 8 squads of 4, and you play small objective based game modes on smaller portions of the battle royale map. There's 8 possible objectives. I'll go ahead and throw a table up on the screen with all the possible combinations. Each round, you and your squad have a different objective, and the bottom 2 squads at the end of each round get eliminated. You get XP bonuses if you come in first, second, or third, and Gauntlet uses the same squad spawn system that you see in the regular BF6 multiplayer. If someone on your squad is still alive, you go ahead and spawn on them as long as they're out of combat. but if everyone gets wiped, your whole squad spawns at a random location and you just start all over. You can go ahead and use your full custom loadout like you can from the Battlefield multiplayer, so this is a great opportunity for you to level up your guns in case you're still working on getting some of those levels. And honestly, I gotta say, this feels more like Battlefield multiplayer than the Call of Duty-esque modes like King of the Hill, Domination, and Team Deathmatch do that they tried to put in the Battlefield 6 multiplayer. I think that this mode is tons of fun, regardless of whether or not you're a Battle Royale fan. The Gauntlet mode, I think, is one of the best things they've implemented into Battlefield in a really long time, and I've been getting a ton of playtime on this outside of my regular multiplayer. But alright, so now that we know what exactly Redsec is, let's go ahead and talk about the good, because there is a lot of good stuff to talk about here with Redsec. For starters, I think the Battle Royale map is fucking great. Seriously, I am so sick of Battle Royales either sending us to the Middle East or sending us to Russia. I have sand in cracks and crevices I didn't even know I had, and I'm sick of eating turnips. Send me somewhere else. No 2 points of interest on the Battle Royale map feel like copies and pastes of each other, and it makes the map feel really varied and dynamic throughout. The map also really flows well. No matter where the storm is going, you always feel like you have opportunities to grab cover and to move effectively from point of interest to point of interest, whether that be with vehicles, smoke, just terrain. The map gives you a lot of different ways to get around, and I gotta say, it's really refreshing to have that coming from a game that feels like it can be kind of stiff like Battlefield can at times. As you know, the Battlefield 6 gunplay, it's immaculate, and it's just as immaculate in a Battle Royale setting as it is in the multiplayer setting. The bloom and spread systems, I know that they're controversial, but they work really well in a Battle Royale environment. Sure, someone with a whole lot of gun skill can still pull off some crazy beams and shots from a long distance, but it's not like you can just take a gun right from the get-go and build it to have laser, no recoil, and just beam people whenever you see them, no matter where you are. Unless you're using the AK, in which case, come on, buddy. I also think that the inclusion of the Battlefield 6 classes really helps to give this Battle Royale its own identity. Every class has a purpose, and every class is needed in a squad setting. So if you're not going to have one person running each of the squads, you better have a damn good reason for why you're bringing 4 assault players. And no, feeling like you're special is not a good reason to bring 4 assault players. You're not all special. Like I said at the start of this review, I really liked Warzone 2 a lot, and I think there are a lot of things in this game that remind me of Warzone 2, but refined to a certain degree. For instance, positioning is king in this Battle Royale. In every single Battle Royale, there's some variation of, oh, this person super far away sees me. I know, I'm just gonna draw a kanji on the ground with my ass skid marks, and I'm gonna be safe and sound from the bullets. There's none of that shit in here. If you get caught out in the open and you try to just slide your way to the enemy, you're gonna get capped. That isn't to say that movement isn't a valuable tool for you, but you can't rely on it like some of the COD Warzone streamers do, and it's really, really refreshing to know that those people can't ruin this Battle Royale. The missions that you can get in this game are a whole lot better than the contract system in COD's Warzone are. The missions just pop up on your screen and you can go ahead and select them from the menu. You don't have to go out and find a random fucking cell phone in the middle of nowhere like someone's gonna try to call you, just like, ugh, crap, someone's trying to give me a call. Hello? No, I can't go open up 3 boxes. I got people shooting at me, you dunce. You f your $10,000. I'm gonna die. And all in all, I think missions are way better implemented than contracts ever were in Warzone. On top of that, I do appreciate the lethality of pistols in this game mode. I never kept my pistol longer than it took me to find 2 rifles, but it's really nice to know that in a pinch, I can swap to my pistol and be effective in combat without just getting killed because the pistol gets instantly outclassed by every other thing in the game. To be clear, the pistol will get outclassed at far ranges, and it's really only good in close quarter situations, but in those close quarter situations, if you've got a pistol, you're way better off than trying to hide and reload your rifle. And the last thing I think is really similar to Warzone 2 that I like is I really like the squad reveal mechanic for knife takedowns. When you have an enemy teammate that goes and pushes ahead of everyone and then gets killed and executed, you have a problem on your hands. That person wasn't playing with the team, and their poor gameplay just hurt the rest of you. It's a really good incentive to remind you that you're not special and you need to stick with your team at all times. And in a game like Battlefield, it's really good that they found a way to go ahead and emphasize that team gameplay in a game mode that often gets taken over by people trying to hog personal glory. Now, outside the Warzone 2 comparisons, I also think that the vehicles work really well in a Battle Royale. I was nervous to see how tanks would end up working out, but honestly, they're fine. Like I've said, you can always have an engineer on your team that comes preloaded with rockets anyway, and there's plenty of terrain around the map to go ahead and hide from, and plenty of ways for you to go ahead and kill a vehicle outside of just the engineers' rockets that they spawn in with. I mean, hell, you're not limited to who can pick up the rocket launchers. Anybody on your team can pick them up. And the helicopters are not bullet sponges either. If you don't fly that thing and keep it moving, you're gonna get shot down regardless of whether someone has a rocket to give you or not. I also really like the idea of the weapon upgrade kits throughout the map. As I've mentioned before, so many of the military type of Battle Royale games, Warzone, they always just end up as a mad dash for enough money to go and buy your special guns, and it's really nice to know that ground loot is just as, if not potentially more viable than just trying to go and find your personal piece at the end of the round. It really does emphasize you being good with every tool in the sandbox, and that's an aspect of a lot of BR games that I think is completely lost, and I really appreciate that here. Now, if you're someone who mainly just enjoys the Battlefield 6 multiplayer, the XP gains you get from playing Redsec are really good, so it's not like you're going to completely waste your time if you decide to go in and try a game or two with this. You're still going to level up your guns really well by playing this, and honestly, Gauntlet is probably the best way to level up your guns outside of playing a game of Breakthrough or Conquest I've ever seen. I know I said earlier that positioning is king, but your movement is still a very valuable tool. It's not so overtuned that you can ass slide your way out of someone shooting at you from 50 meters away, but it is a good enough reliable tool that you can use it in close quarter situations to go ahead and slide your way out of a bad situation, kind of like how I did here.
Okay. Oh shit. I hit him, I cracked him, and it did 20 extra, so he had a pretty decent amount of damage done to him. He's coming to your right. It's a shotgun, be careful. Oh shit, alright, the other one, he's right here.
Dude, no fucking shot.
I ain't gotta do anything.
This would be a great time to have Fortnite dances, because I think I just sent these bitches back to the lobby. Talking a little bit more about the Gauntlet mode, you only need 2 plates of armor to get yourself up to full armor in the Battle Royale mode, and you only need 1 single plate in Gauntlet, so I appreciate that change in balancing. Gauntlet is a bit faster paced of a mode than the Battle Royale, so it makes sense that you don't need to spend as much time plating up to get yourself back in the fight. And lastly, on the topic of Gauntlet, it's super fun, dude. Seriously, even if you don't own Battlefield 6, I highly recommend that you go ahead and give Gauntlet a try. It's the kind of tense, tournament-based team gameplay that I love out of the finals, and I gotta say, seeing it implemented somewhere else is a really nice thing to see. Gauntlet mode is never gonna replace the finals for me, not by a fucking long shot, but it is nice to switch it up every now and then. So, alright, I know I've spent a whole lot of time glazing Battlefield Redsec, but there are some things that are kind of negative about this game that I feel I need to go ahead and address with you guys as well. For starters, do you see these couple tiles over here? Have you noticed something is noticeably absent? If you answered to solos mode, you'd be correct. Solo players need not apply in Battlefield Redsec. There is no dedicated solos mode in the game, and that really hurts if you're someone who doesn't have any friends to play this game with. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, funny, just matchmake with a random teammate. It can't be that bad. Oh, yes, it can be. One of the biggest reasons that I wanted to play with Hyperborean and to go ahead and get this review done with is because every time I tried to play BR solos, my teammates were f***ing atrocious. And I don't just mean like, oh, someone handed their little brother the controller and they're taking a turn. No. I mean that these people legitimately must have been potatoes with hands. Because what the f*** are some of these people doing, man?
I downed one in the hallway. Oh, f***.
Right, I damaged one. They knocked me.
Where's our squad mates?
They f***ed off to area 22B.
Their own thing.
Go ahead, take the dog tags. Have fun taking a fucking hike to go find them.
This isn't where I pinged it off. I pinged the golf course. They're all the way over Bedbug Spreader. I'm glad he's having a good time looting while we're all...
Of course it's someone named fucking Bedbug Spreader. Ooh, alright. He's got some intel. He spotted him on the drone. What's he gonna do now? Oh, he's gonna put a baby monitor in the corner.
Looks like he's gonna die. Yep.
Dude, this guy belongs in phase. Nobody is using their goddamn microphone. Nobody is communicating. Everybody is running away from each other. And when Hyper and I hopped into quads to go ahead and see how the quads gameplay felt, more often than not, our teammates would land away from us and run off into the fucking distance and just completely ignore us the whole damn game. We would die, and then we'd end up spectating someone thinking they're Himothy Himerson on fucking Rebirth Island for their 25,000th drop, and then immediately watch them get humbled and have to waste time going back to the lobby. If you're one of these people, stop it. You're not special. Play as a fucking team in the team game. Now, this next point isn't really a Redsec specific issue, but multiplayer matchmaking has felt a bit more inconsistent since the launch of Season 1 and Redsec. And what I mean by that is that there are a lot more instances where I'm getting put into lobbies that are getting filled up with bots. Now, look, I get it that not everyone is going to be playing at all times, but this game still has a steady 500,000 people playing it at any given time. I should not need bots to fill in the blanks in my matches, especially not right now. Just knowing the Battlefield player base, I refuse to believe that there are that many people playing Redsec, and that those Steam numbers that I'm going to throw up on the screen are encompassing mostly people playing Redsec. I can only imagine like 10 to 20% of people are actually playing the Battle Royale in this game. So all in all, it's been a bit of a ding on the multiplayer experience, but it hasn't ruined it. I can still get into games plenty fine. I never wait more than 5 or 10 seconds to get into a match. So even though it's not really a thing that's ruined by Redsec being around, I'm going to go ahead and notate it just because it is a pretty common occurrence that people are complaining about on social media. As far as gameplay goes, snipers feel horrible if you aren't playing recon, which, hey, that may be a positive if you're a really big fan of the concept of only recon gets to touch snipers. And normally I am too, but in a battle royale setting, that kind of thinking really just goes out the window. Battle Royale is all about the ground loot and what you find and using everything available at your disposal. But the active nerfs that are present for every other class with the sniper rifle, I don't feel like they fit the best in the Battle Royale game mode. But on the flip side of that, snipers can feel particularly oppressive when you play on some of the gauntlet maps. There was one instance where Hyper and I were playing a gauntlet game, and there were 3 snipers sitting on top of a huge crane that we just could not deal with. And then when we took the crane down, they just hopped over to another rooftop and kept sniping us. So your experience with Gauntlet may vary if you're playing against a couple of sniper heavy teams. Hopping over to the Battle Royale side of things, the Battle Royale pacing does feel kind of off sometimes. Now, Fort Linden is a huge map, and honestly, I think this map could use a lot more than just 100 players. I think 120 or 150 would be perfect for this map, but 100 players feels like it's so spread out that I can go entire like 5-10 minute stretches of time without running into anybody. And look, I get it. Battle Royale is a long game. You don't hop into this thing expecting it to be over in 5 minutes, unless you suck at it. You know, you expect a much longer game when you hop in for a Battle Royale, but going half the game without seeing anybody a lot, I feel like that's a pacing issue on the map's fault. So just all in all, I feel like this game mode could really use more than just 100 players. On top of that, this could be a positive or a negative depending on which way you want to look at it, but the servers for Redsec begin at 20 ticks per second. Now, the tick rate of a server is how often the server updates, so how often it's reaching back out to your machine to get an update on what you're doing, where you're at, who shot you, all that, this, that, and the third. A 20 tick rate server does that 20 times per second for every single person in the lobby. However, when you get down to the final circles in Battle Royale, it apparently ups the tick rate to 60 per second, which gives you a much more fluid and smooth feeling experience. And honestly, I think that's fantastic. I think that that's a great way to make the game mechanically feel fair and make it feel less like you died because I was around the corner and the server didn't fucking see I was around the corner. I can't even tell you how many times that's happened in every other multiplayer game I play. The part where I think that this is a potential downside is that clearly 60 tick rate servers are possible with this game mode, so why don't we just have 60 tick rate servers from the get-go? And I know some kind of keyboard warrior with no IT experience is about to light me up in the comments going, funny man, it's because they don't have the resources to do 60 tick rate servers. How about you leave your mom's basement and go read a book every now and then? Yeah, so I'm gonna take my impending cybersecurity degree and tell you to go fuck yourself. And last but not least, there is a big push for the Battle Pass now that Season 1 has released and that is available in the shop. And yes, I really get it that it's annoying, and especially for the people like me that own Battlefield 6. Hell, I even paid for the fucking Phantom Edition because I wanted to support this game. I have a problem with greedy monetization, but I don't mind giving my money to a product that I genuinely enjoy and want to support. Okay, but there are so many people out there that see this advertisement for the Battle Pass and just go, oh my god, it's already turning into monetized slop. Like, Do you guys just walk into a grocery store and if someone at the sample counter has shit on a cracker, do you then go, ah, fuck, I didn't want to buy shit on a cracker, but someone showed it to me. I guess I gotta buy it now. Like, seriously, what is the deal here? Just treat the advertisement for the Battle Pass like you already treat your obligation to take a shower and ignore it. But all right, so now with all these things in mind, let's go ahead and give Battlefield Redsec a final verdict. Did I enjoy my time playing Redsec? Yeah, I did. This is probably some of the most fun I've had playing a Battle Royale since the glory days of Fortnite. Chapter 3, Chapter 4 of Fortnite were really great too, as well as some of the better seasons of Apex and Warzone when it wasn't complete dog water. Will I be playing more of Battlefield Redsec? Absolutely, yes, I will be. Like I said, I'm probably going to get a lot more mileage out of Gauntlet mode just because I don't really have anybody to play this BR with on a regular basis, but the BR is fun enough that yes, I will be willing to suffer through it occasionally as a solo player. But will Battlefield Redsec's time take away from my multiplayer time? No. Not really. Although I do enjoy this Battle Royale, and I think they did finally nail a Battlefield BR, I don't anticipate me spending any more time playing this than I do playing the multiplayer. And I certainly don't see my playtime on the multiplayer getting reduced by going over to play Redsec. So all in all, if you're a fan of Battlefield, be sure to go ahead and give this a try. If you're a fan of Battle Royales, also be sure to go ahead and give this a try. It's great for both of us. And if you're a fan of neither, I don't know why you were watching this video anyway. You weren't going to play it no how. But anywho, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big shout out to Hyperborean once again for helping me out with this video. His channel will be linked down below in the description. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more content. And let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about Battlefield Redsec? Are you enjoying it? Does it remind you of any other Battle Royale game? And how do you feel about the Gauntlet mode compared to the finals? I know that all my finals players out here are going to have something to say about Gauntlet mode, so let me know what you think of it down below, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.